Welcome to the weekly channeled angel message. I'm gonna see what the angels want to share with all of us this week. So they're starting out with an image of a halo and using the phrase like holier than thou, and kind of showing someone like floating in like a lotus meditation position above the ground and above other people. This idea of like when we present ourselves in a inaccurate light, or when we try to put on a performance or a mask, like when we're not our authentic selves, even if it's like in a positive way, like we're trying to show up in a perfect way where we always do the right things, it really disconnects us from everyone else and puts us in a place where we're almost like trying to put ourselves on a pedestal, and maybe other people do too, and that maybe can make other people feel less than, but it's also like an impossible image to continue to try to live up to. And it hurts us and others in the end. And so the angels are showing me kind of like different ways, different options. So if we take off the mask and we show up in vulnerability with someone else, if they're vulnerable with us and they show up in their authentic self as well, that can be really connecting and healing. If we show up as our authentic self and vulnerable and the other person doesn't, like they're still wearing their armor, their mask, they can feel very exposing for us and unsafe and feel disconnecting and unfair. Think about time when you've been vulnerable in a relationship and you feel like you haven't been met back with that. Like, how does that feel? Now, the opposite can be true, where it's also disconnecting, where you show up in your armor, in your mask, and the other person showing up in vulnerability. That doesn't feel good to the other person, and it also still feels disconnecting. And it creates power dynamics. When two people aren't being equally authentic, it can create these differential and power dynamics that aren't fair to the relationship or one or the other person or both parties. So the angels really want us to think about, how are you showing up and presenting yourself to the world? Is that the same as who you are behind the scenes? And if it's not, if there's a huge gap, what's happening there? Is there shame there? Is there feeling like it's not safe? Are you worried about rejection? What is leading to that big gap? What are you hiding? And are there parts of that stuff that you can start to bring forward? Can you lessen the gap? And be thinking about, how are you feeling in your relationships? If you feel like you're presenting yourself in a way that doesn't feel entirely accurate to what's happening behind the scenes, how connected do you feel with others? And also, how much do others feel connected to you? Sometimes we can go through life and people are opening up to us, so we feel connected to them because they've shared all these things. But then we might get feedback of like, they don't feel like they really know us, or they don't feel as connected to us. That might be because we're maybe not opening up as much and being as much of our authentic self, especially if we're being a chameleon, is what the angels are showing me. So it's really about our public presenting self and our behind the scenes self, and how that impacts us and impacts our relationships. Because the goal is to be more ourselves, to be freer, to live authentically. That's so beneficial to ourselves in all types of ways of wellness, as long as we can feel safe doing that, which can be complicated in the world. But also being our authentic self, the goal is to create more connection with ourselves and also with other people, that creates such deeper and richer relationships.